Hi, my name is Tomasz Gogosz and I am Business Development Director in Datapolis. Our company is producing a great business management tools for SharePoint since 2008. We produce Datapolis Process System, which is a graphical workflow editor for SharePoint on-premise, and Datapolis Workflow 365, which is a mirror tool for SharePoint Online. With our tools, you can easily, using drag and drop methods, create workflow and use them in SharePoint environment without great user interface. Today, I would like to show you the basic idea of Datapolis Process System, which is, like I mentioned, a tool for SharePoint on-premise. I will show you how to create workflows with our designer and how to use them in the end-user perspective. So let's get started. I would like to show you how to create and use a very simple workflow, invoicing approval in Datapolis Process System. For this, I have created a basic SharePoint website with an invoices list, and on that list I just created one column comments that I will use in my presentation. But before we will start, we need to activate features that allow us to use a Datapolis Process System on that particular website. For this, I will go to Site Settings, Manage Site Features, and here I will activate two features, a Datapolis Column Protector and Datapolis Process System. Now we can go to Invoices list and start creating a workflow. Firstly, I will go to List ribbon, and in the List ribbon I will choose Datapolis Process System Settings. That opens a page with a list of workflows on this particular SharePoint list. In the bottom, I will click Create Workflow. Here, I can write a name of the workflow, let's say Invoicing, and let's confirm. Right now, the workflow is being created and our HTML5 designer is opening. As I mentioned, this is HTML5 designer, so you can use it in any browser you would like. On the top of the designer, you can see a ribbon with configuration options like saving, deploying, some tools, etc., importing, exporting. On the center area is the design area. On the left is a toolbar with the tools that we'll use on that design area. The first thing you can see when you open the designer is a green and red dot. It's a start and end state, because this is a state machine workflow. Right now, I will create a very simple invoicing approval workflow. I will create two states because we'll have a two steps invoice approval. The first steps will be some kind of verification when users can verify if that invoice is a really invoice and if he has everything that it needs to have. So let's say verification, and I will add second state, acceptance, when user can accept or reject the invoice. So what are states? States are something when the workflow states and waits for some user interaction. Between the states, we can move with actions. Action is something that can be invoked by the user or can be invoked automatically. Like the first action, when the workflow starts, it goes from the start state to the first state. And then in the first state, we can have an action, let's say, verified. So the user may say, okay, I just verified the invoice. And from the acceptance, you can have, let's say, action accept, that user will say, okay, I accept that invoice. Or you can have action reject. So user may reject that invoice. Reject. Okay, but what else? There is some situation when you need to get some more information because you cannot say that I would like to accept or reject the invoice. So because of that, And because of that, we have a state machine workflow. You can have an action that goes back to the previous state. And let's name that action, let's say, request for more information. Okay, so what's next? What I just showed you is a business layer of our tool. So basically, when I will ask you to draw a business processes, you will more or less draw something like this. You will draw boxes with arrows. So what else we have more than that business layer? We have several technical layers. The first thing we have is a forms. So when a user chooses an action, he can fill a form. So when, for example, someone says request for more info, he can fill a comment when he will write why he's requesting for more info. So for that, we'll go to variables, and we will add a new variable when we will store a comment, and I will name that comment. Okay. And let's go to the request for more info action. And here on the right, we have a launch form. So let's click it. And there is several ways of creating a launch form. The first simple way is the quick form, when you can just drag and drop a comment variable to your form. And right now, the user will see that comment variable on the form. The next is the HTML form, when you can edit the HTML of a particular form. You can have an info form, when you can use an info form instead of an action form. You can have a custom form, when you can use your custom developer form using SDK, or you can have no launch form. So you will just click and, let's say, accept, and your workflow will just move to the next state. But we'll use a quick form. I just drag and drop a comment, and I can configure how this comment should look like. So I can configure the name, the description. I can configure the field type, like single line of text, multi-line, choice, like drop-downs, numbers, date time, people pickers, checkboxes, and even custom field control, so which you can create using our SDK. But I will just create single line of text. I can also configure JavaScript, and I can also configure some interaction between fields, like cascading dropdowns. But for that presentation, I'm just using single line of text. Okay. So I just added a comment variable to the request for more info action. I also would like my comment to be saved somewhere. When the user will fill that comment, it will be saved to the workflow variable, but then I would like it to be saved to the item field comments, which I prepared, and I mentioned you about this before. So for that, I will go once more to the action and click activities. And here you can see the activities layer, the technical layer of our tool. We have lots of activities you can use, like if activities, like some sending emails, like changing permissions, like site list activities, like list item activities, like editing, copying, moving items, like office activities, like opening and editing Word and Excel files, like even connecting to the cloud, to Dynamics CRM, to Office 365, and to SharePoint Online. In this presentation, I will use just very simple edit items. I will choose to edit the current item. And in the field values, I would like to edit the comments field and write it. And what? I can write, of course, something for my finger, but I can use a lookup. Lookup is our data source layer, very powerful when you can get the data from the whole SharePoint, like some list, items, or you can search for some items all first. You can count items, you can use some conditions, you can sort that, you can get it from the current lists, other lists, from the site collection, so we can get the data from nearly the whole web application. But also you can get some data from workflow data, like workflow information, some URLs, like workflow actions URLs, like workflow states, etc. You can use, of course, workflow variables, which I will use just in a few seconds, but also we have tons of functions, like text functions to manage text, like splitting and substrings, finding something text, like date functions, so like now, modify day, day of month, day of week, etc. Like math functions, like run, converting to a number or calculating. So you can even put a mathematical expression which it will be calculated, like data sources, like SQL, Active Directory, calling REST or software services, and a lot of else functions. What's important, you can use a lookup inside a lookup, and you can merge lookups with no limits, so it's very powerful. Right now, I will use it as a comment variable and click OK. Okay, so that's all. I just created my very simple invoicing approval workflow. I just put the two states, connected them with few actions. In the request for more info, I just put a comment variable to the form, and I put an edit items there. So let me deploy my workflow. My workflow is deployed right now. So I will open a new tab, my website, go to invoices, and right now you will see how it looks like from the end user perspective. So let's imagine I'm adding a new invoice. Of course, in the real life, it will have more properties, maybe a custom form, etc. But I would like to simplify the situation, so I will add a very simple invoice. Let's say invoice 01, and that's all. My workflow is starting right now, so let me refresh the page. And you see the first column that was added. It is invoicing column. It shows the status of the workflow, like starting, in progress, finished, etc. And after the next refresh, you see the next column, invoicing state. And it shows the exact state of the workflow where it is right now. So you see the verification. So let's go to our workflow definition. And you see my workflow just started from the green dot, and through the initial action, it went to verification state. So right now from verification, I may click the verified action. So let's see how to click an action. When I click on the three dots, you see invoicing here, and here is verified. That's my action, verified. I can also go to ribbon here and see there is workflow actions. That also my action verified. I can change the icon and I can change the tooltip. And when I go to item view, I also can click an action in the top. There is also in ribbon my action verified. And if you would like, we have also an out-of-box web part which you can put just above your list item with the buttons that are dynamically loaded and shown here for the actions. But let's go back right now to invoices, and I will click on the three dots, verified. Right now you see the standard action launch page was shown. You can change here in the workflow design, you can change the header, you can change the footer, you can add some fields here. So it's up to you how it will look like. Let's confirm that action right now. And you see our workflow moved to the acceptance state. So right now let's see what actions we have here in the acceptance state. You can click request for more info, reject, and accept right now. So let's click request for more info. You remember that in request for more info, I just drag and drop the comment variable. So I can write a comment right now. This is my comment. And confirm. So my workflow is coming back to the previous state right now. He's going to the verification state through the action request for more info. And when I click on the three dots right now, you see I can again click verified. So I'm back in the verification state. When I click on the in progress, I will see the whole workflow history of my workflow in the graphical way. So you see there's some workflow statistics, but you can also see that there was initial action, and then we have been in the verification state, and then I have launched the verified action. So we went to acceptance, and in the acceptance, I click the request for more info, and the list administrator will also see the form field values and activities history. So we see there was a comment, this is my comment, and there was edit items activity. When I clicked, when it edited the current item, and the comments field was filled with this is my comment.
I would like to tell you a little about one more thing. That thing is who and when should see an action, because probably when we would like to show an actions like verified or accept only to some people. So for example, verified should be only seen by the secretary, and the accept or reject should be only seen by the director. For this we have a roles. I can add a role here in the designer. Let's say I will add the role director. And I can drag and drop that role to the particular actions, like to the accept, to the request from info, and to the reject. So right now, only people that are in the role director can choose the actions accept to reject on request from info when workflow will be in the acceptance state. So how to configure who should be in the director action? There is two ways. You can just double click on that and you can statically put someone in the role, like find myself and just drag and drop it to the role. And you can also drag and drop SharePoint groups here or AD groups, but it's a statical way. So the best way is here in the statical way to use the SharePoint groups. The other way is in the any action in the activities. There is a permissions group, and here you have add role and remove from role activities. So you can configure to which role, let's say to the director role, to put which users. You can put something just writing his login, but you can also use the lookups here. So you can configure to get someone, for example, from current item created by, or from get manager from ID function, or anyone else. You can add more users to the role, you can remove the user from the role dynamically, so you can have a role director where you will put the manager of the current user, or where you will put a director group, or whatever you would like. So it's fully dynamic, so you can remove that roles, you can have a role responsible person which you will add in some part of the workflow, and then later you can change that to some other person. Okay, so that was some basics of the Datapolis process system. And of course, there's a lot of more functionalities in that tool. But for that, I will ask you to watch some other videos to learn that in our documentation, which you can find on datapolis.com, or just to ask questions on the meetings.
Right now is a good time to note all of your questions. Please send those questions to sales@datapolis.com and we'll answer them in our meeting. Thank you for listening and see you soon.